I found the ad by chance, taped to a message board in the hallway between the psychology and biology departments. It looked almost too simple to be real. Participants needed for a sleep study. 5 nights. $500. Meals included. A number. An address. That's it. I stood there staring at it longer than I should have. $500. For just sleeping. At the time, I was between part-time jobs, rent was overdue, and I hadn't had a proper rest in weeks. It sounded like a joke. Or a scam. But I took the number. The address led to a small building on the edge of campus. Not one of the main university labs, no big sign, no security. Just a buzz-in door and a guy in a white coat with bags under his eyes. He spoke softly, as if he didn't want to wake something. Told me they were researching dream behavior and REM response under controlled isolation. Sounded like sleep and sensors. Easy. I signed the consent forms. Pages of small print I didn't fully read. But I remember one sentence. It was bolded, centered. After night 3, participants may experience alterations in perceived reality. This is normal. I almost laughed. Perceived reality? Dreams feel real all the time. There were 4 other participants. 2 girls, a quiet guy with headphones, and someone who wouldn't stop chewing gum. We were all led to private rooms. No windows. 1 bed. 1 camera in the corner. 1 button to press if we wanted to stop the experiment. The first night was fine. They attached wires to my head, told me to relax, and left me in the dark. I didn't dream. Or if I did, I couldn't remember. The hum of the machinery was oddly calming. In the morning, breakfast was waiting on a tray. No talking between us. Just food, then back to our rooms. Sleep, wake, repeat. Night 2 was similar. But when I woke up, one of the rooms was empty. The chewing gum guy, gone. I assumed he quit. Nobody told us anything. No group meetings. Just the same quiet man checking our vitals, whispering notes into a recorder. By the 3rd night, I was starting to feel off. Not tired. Not awake. As if my mind was buzzing a few seconds ahead of my body. That night, the dream came. I couldn't tell if I was asleep or dreaming, or somewhere in between. At first, I saw static. Like an old television left on a dead channel. But the static was inside my head. Buzzing, shifting. And behind it, something trying to speak. Not words exactly. Just pulses. A rhythm I could feel in my teeth. I opened my eyes, or thought I did, and my room looked different. Longer. Darker. The corners were deeper than before, stretched into shadows that shouldn't be there. I tried to sit up, but I couldn't move. Not sleep paralysis. Worse. I wasn't in bed anymore. I was standing. Facing the mirror on the far wall. But there hadn't been a mirror before. And what I saw wasn't my reflection. It looked like me, same face, same hair, same t-shirt. But the expression was wrong. It was smiling. Wide. Too wide. And its eyes, they were open, but it wasn't looking at me. It was watching something behind me. I turned, nothing. Just the room. When I looked back, the mirror was gone. Just the blank wall. I blinked. I was in bed again. The red light on the camera was off. I pressed the emergency button by instinct. Nothing happened. No alarm. No response. And then, the room went cold. Freezing. I could see my breath. The shadows in the corner began to move. They didn't shift like regular darkness. They bent inward, curling like smoke in reverse. Like something was forming out of the absence. I closed my eyes. Told myself it wasn't real. I opened them again. Light. Morning. Breakfast on the tray. Room warm again. Camera light back on. I stumbled into the hallway. The girl with the red hoodie was standing there, shaking. She looked at me like she knew what I saw. Then she whispered, almost too quiet to hear. "They're not recording us, they're feeding it." I tried to ask her what she meant, but she was already gone. Back in her room. Door shut. Locked. There was no staff. No breakfast trays outside the other rooms. Only mine. And a silence that felt intentional. I pressed the emergency button again. Still nothing. No footsteps. No voices. No power flicker. The hallway lights just hummed steadily, like nothing was wrong. That was the moment I realized. I couldn't remember the last time I saw someone who worked here. Sure, there was the quiet guy in the lab coat. But only once or twice. And never for long. It was like the place was running on autopilot. Back in my room, the camera was still pointed straight at my bed. But the red light was off again. It felt like it was watching, but not recording. That night, I couldn't sleep. Not even close. Every time I started to drift off, I'd feel pulled back. Like something didn't want me to leave consciousness. And when I finally did fall asleep, I wasn't in the room anymore. I was underground. Long corridor. Concrete walls. No doors, no windows. Just flickering lights and that same static buzz in my head. And I was being followed. I didn't see it. I could just feel it. Close. Breathing. Matching my steps. Then I heard it. Whispers. Thousands of them. All speaking in reverse. As if time in that place ran the wrong way. I tried to run, but my feet were heavy, like submerged in thick liquid. The corridor stretched on, endlessly. The lights above me burst, one by one, as something behind me moved faster. I didn't look back. I couldn't. Because some instinct deep inside me screamed. If you look back, you don't wake up. When I opened my eyes, my pillow was soaked with sweat. The camera was on again. But now, it was tilted down, like it had been moved. Pointed directly at my face. There was a sticky note on my nightstand. Do not look back. Same handwriting as the study's waiver form. But I hadn't seen anyone enter my room. That note stayed in my pocket all day. I kept running my thumb over the words, like the ink held some kind of protection. Like maybe, just maybe, if I held onto it, I wouldn't vanish like the others. Because people were vanishing. The girl in the red hoodie? Gone. Her room, empty. Not cleaned out, just abandoned. As if she'd never been there. And others too. Doors that used to have muffled voices behind them were silent now. No more coughing. No more pacing. Just nothing. I tried to ask about it during the group check-in, but I was the only one there. No staff. No patients. Just an empty room with plastic chairs and a single buzzing light above. And that's when I noticed it. The mirror on the wall. It had never been there before. Just like the one in my dream. Just like the one that smiled back at me. I turned to leave, but the door was gone. Only the mirror remained. And in it, I saw them. The others. The ones who had vanished. They stood behind me, shoulder to shoulder. Expressionless. Not moving. Not breathing. Except one. The girl in the red hoodie. Her lips moved. Forming the words. They're still watching. The mirror cracked, a thin fracture across my reflection's face. Then a siren screamed through the room, loud enough to make my ears bleed. The lights cut out. Darkness. When I woke up, I was in my bed. Once again. Daylight. Normal. But the note in my pocket. It was gone. And on my door, scratched deep into the wood, were the words. We see you. I jolted awake. This time, for real. The light in the room was soft, natural, not the cold fluorescence of the clinic. I was home. In my own bed. My phone buzzed with messages. Yo, where are you? Are you coming to class? That movie last night messed me up, LOL. Voices. Real ones. I heard laughter from the kitchen. The smell of toast. My roommates. For a few seconds, everything was okay. I told myself it was just a dream. A stress nightmare. Too much caffeine. Too many late-night horror marathons. But then, I saw it. On my desk. A folded note. Plain. Yellowed. Unmarked, except for 4 words. Do not look back. I froze. My breath caught. Outside the window, across the street. Someone stood perfectly still. Facing my building. Red hoodie. Motionless. I blinked. Gone. I didn't tell anyone. What could I even say? That I dreamed an entire week in a fake clinic? That people disappeared and mirrors moved and shadows tried to drag me into them? No one would believe me. Hell, I didn't believe me. But some nights, when I wake up between 3 and 4 a.m., I swear I hear that buzz. That low, pulsing static. In the walls. In my teeth. And sometimes, just sometimes, I see my reflection smiling when I'm not.